Welcome to the U.K. E-liquid Mixing Show. It is a Wednesday and it's time to talk a little bit of mixing. So, if you are in chat at the moment, if you look at the top and you're in Twat chat, change it over to live chat and you'll keep up with everything we are doing. So, I'm Benny Vapes. We have got on tonight, we have got our own mixing guru, which is Graham Net Reality. We have got the one and only The Chair, which is Bill. We have got our own mixing detective, which is Liam Sherlock Holmes. And we've also got the mixing maestro himself, which is an advocate for liberty, which is Tim. Welcome. Welcome, one and all. So like I say, I hope you're all right out there. We have got some topics to talk about. Not very many, but we can talk. If you have got anything to say and you want to know anything, just drop it in chat and we will get to you as soon as we can. Just a little shout out before we go on. Please be respectful for other people in chat. Don't be a dick and start arguments with anybody, please. It does put me off. It does throw my show out, and it's not very nice for people in chat as well. And don't put about 50 million different versions of yourself in chat, because that puts me off as well. Thank you very much. That is a public service announcement, and we'll carry on with the show. Right, I can get everybody up now, and I can see what we're doing. Where are we? There we are. Hello, 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 and welcome. Hello and welcome. Have you had a good week so far?
A week? I've been working. Don't like it.
It's just like 2 days ago we did this damn show.
It comes round quick, doesn't it? Don't you think?
It does. It was like, Jesus Christ, is it Wednesday already? Oh, God.
Yeah, it's come back. It's come round really, really quickly. Right, so what we'll do is we'll get Liam to go through chat, if you would, please.
Yeah, in chat tonight, we have the Vaping Snowman, A Up Me Duck, Trev Lion, Mr. Anderson, Mike Haynes, Rocky Toomey, Jackson Vape Reviews, Proper Coils, Zippy Zone, hey Zippy, and I'm Fee. I feel like I'm missing loads of people, but
Daytime Frank.
Yeah, the Frank.
The man, the myth.
I can't even see Daytime Frank. Yes, I do. I just saw him now.
Yeah, make sure you're in live chat.
You lucky guy.
No, I'm in live chat. But I actually forgot to zoom in the chat so I could bloody read the thing.
Oh. So yeah, every time I hope my duck come, I go, I hate that duck. So that's a chat. If you do drop in afterwards, say hello to you while you're coming on. We will go around and see what everybody's vape machine is, and we will start with Tim.
Oh boy, I got a couple out today. I got the Aegis Legend with the Purge X on top, and in that I have Honey My Sweet DIY I made a while back that I forgot I had.
Nicely steeped then.
Yeah, and I got the Paranormal with the Tuning K Fun on top with that has the last of that the iced mango banana smoothie.
What version of the K Fun is it?
What?
What version of the K Fun is it?
The 4, I think.
All right.
The big one.
Is that the one with the 50 million parts that fall to pieces?
It does a lot of parts, yeah.
Yeah.
Goon 1.5 on the other Aegis Legend, and that one there is going to be just a tester for today. So, and then if I decide to make something, and then I got the Profile 1. The Profile Unity, sorry, on the Lost Vape Gruss, and in that I got the Candy Cream Strawberry that I made yesterday. It's tasting pretty good, and I do not get caramel. Just to put that out. And just because of that, I'm going to pass it off to Grim Green's best mate. So,
okay. I've got the Minikin 2.
Grim.
Yeah.
Slurp.
With the Barrage on top. And in that, I've got some Mana But Blush, which is basically Nick's juice and my juice together.
All right.
I was vaping the Mana and I accidentally picked up the blush and put it in the RDA without cleaning it or changing anything, and I could taste the strawberry.
Oh.
Strawberry and banana. I suddenly can taste strawberry.
Right.
So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about
So you're saying in this case, 2 wrongs do make a right?
Yeah.
that way. So I'll pass it over to Liam. We can talk about that a little bit later.
Tonight I'm on the usual Snow Wolf UX with the Profile 1.5, and in that I'm vaping on a small tester of a new cheesecake I'm working on, which is Dark Nectar, which is a blackberry cheesecake.
Ooh.
And I also have the Vupu X217, and on that I have the Aromamizer V2 in RDA, and in that I'm vaping on some lemon cream. Now, it's not the V Donuts one. I just recycled the bottle and made my own lemon cream to go in there.
All right. Fair enough.
And I will pass it over to Bill.
Thank you. I am on the 2 Arbiters, like always, and the Arbiter 2, like always. One on the Double Barrel V4, like always. One on the Gur, like always. And one on an Evil Dildo.
You got to do it like a pirate, Bill. You got to go.
Yeah, the Goer. You know, it's. I believe that when
It's a Chinese prostitute. Goer.
Yeah, when Matt did his original thing on it, he said everybody's going to call this the Gur, but it's actually the Gur. You know,
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be having more of an O sound to it, I guess. But you know, it just doesn't have an O in the name. So, and I'm on Ban Van Custard, Vanilla something, and Straw Cheese Ice, which I have been on those 3 things now for quite some time. But a week steep, I have a bottle over here called Graham's Revenge, and I'm thinking it's probably going to take at least another couple of weeks.
Just to get his own back on you.
Yeah. No, it's right. When I smell it or knuckle test it, it's basically, I haven't gotten anything up. I haven't vaped it. I did it a week ago. And, you know, I'm kind of trying to let it steep in a little. There's not really much in it that's going to pop out flavor-wise. So I may have to kind of add something to make flavor more. But then again, I have nice bland taste buds in a lot of cases. So it might be really good. You know, so I'll throw it to Benny. You know.
Thank you very much, little buddy. You all right, Fletcher? He's just put 50 million E's on the end, Fletcher. So I'm on the Drag-X Plus with the Arbiter 2 on top. And inside that, I made a mistake and picked this up.
Nope.
I'm on the trifle from Ancient Elixir, and I'm also on the solo with the Arbiter solo, and inside that I've got some RY Hawthorne concentrate, and that is me, plain and simple man. Mike Haynes is on. Do you know, for some reason my thing don't scroll up anymore. Mike Haynes is on the fella, not DNA, with the Arbiter 2 with Lemon Pocket. Ooh. I don't know who does that, Lemon Pocket. I've not got no clue who does Lemon Pocket.
No idea.
Yeah, and he's on the Bone Breaker with a Z RDA with Camilla. And Jackson, Mr. Jackson, you all right? He's on the Lost Vape Centaurus Quest with the Umia Was Nano V2 RDA with Congo Bongo. You can't say it's ice. It's more WS23 than it is Congo Bongo. It puts like 10% in.
I was thinking that person on the Lemon Pocket's probably doing the same thing that Liam's doing. He's got that bottle, but he did his own lemon stuff in it.
Yeah. And we got Bunny, you all right, Bunny? And Scubba. Welcome, Scubba. While we're just on, because Mark, he likes, what is it? Do you know, right? I knew someone was going to ask that. I just read what Mr. A Up My Duck says. What did I just say before we came on?
Yeah.
I get a little bit of Evanescence in the Arbiter 2. Which, it's not a fizz, but it's like a sweetness that makes your tongue tingle a little bit. And I don't know why. I didn't get it on an RDA, but on the Arbiter 2, I get more sweetness out of the raspberry, which gives you a little bit of a Not a fizz,
I
but a
tried to
mouthfeel.
explain to you, Amy will make your tongue tingle.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not getting a fizz, but it's a little bit of a
You
little
sure
bit of a
that's
tinkle.
not psychological?
It could be because someone said it's fizz. No, honestly, mate. Honestly, no. I've vaped it up because I took it out by accident, and I have vaped it, but I took it out by accident, and I ended up having to buy some Nick shots, and put them in,
Ian.
right them out. Do you know what I mean? And then I've been using it, and like I say, you do get this. It's not a fizz, as in, oh, that's a fizzy trifle. It's like an effervescence in your mouth, you know, but it's the raspberry. It's a raspberry that's doing it more than anything
I got an
else.
idea what raspberry that could be too.
Yeah.
Graham does too.
So yeah, that's what it's giving me. But it's only done it, like I say, I used it on the RTA, didn't get it on that, but on the Arbiter 2, I don't know why. I'm just getting that little bit of a tongue tingle.
Airflows. Different airflows, different size
could be, yeah.
chambers,
It could be, yeah.
all accent, different notes.
Yeah, definitely. So before we go on, Mr. Jackson likes his ice cold. He puts WS23 in and he makes it really, really cold. There's another one other than WS23 that's colder than that, isn't there? Isn't there a colder one than
WS12 and WS5, I
I
believe.
think it's 3.
Yeah,
Could be
there's
3.
one or
No,
two that are colder.
Cooler, the WS3 is actually colder than WS23.
right?
But it's just a lot of people believe the WS23 is colder than WS3 because the WS23 comes in a stronger dilution. WS23 is normally 30% that we get over here, and WS3 is normally only 10%.
So can you buy that? Can we buy that here? Can we buy?
WS3, yeah, it's Coolada.
Coolada gives you a taste, so does Coolada.
Yeah, it does, but it is actually colder than WS23, where it has got that little chemical back note. There's also WS12, which gives you more of that throat coldness as opposed to the mouth coldness.
If he's after saving money, he could make it up himself, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he's always puts loads in. Like say, he's gone from like 2% up to like 10% because he likes it. Because we were on about it last night that his mouth must be getting used to the coldness. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I just wondered if there's something that's colder than the WS23 that he might get. We're not using as much.
WS5, I believe, is called, but I'm not too sure where you can get it from.
If he gets it in crystal form and makes it up himself, he
can make your own
can
dilution.
save a fortune because you can't really get WS23 quite cheap.
Go out in the freezer, get an ice cube, stick it in your mouth. And
yeah, then vape on it while you got an ice cube. Yeah, Magoofa's saying Flavor West Extreme Ice 15%.
Not tried that.
So maybe try that, Jackson. Flavor West Extreme Ice at 15%.
I've done WS23 one time at like 0.1%.
Have you got it there, that?
And that was too
WS23. Yeah.
Oh, WS23, yeah.
I don't know. I get a weird note from the others. I don't like it. That's the only one I can do.
He's saying he does 20 to 25% in a 250 mil.
You can't do that early either because if you got to let WS23 go for at least 4 or 5 days, anything you put it in, because you'll get that chemical right off. I got big time.
So I just wondered if he could, like I say, because I know he likes it really, really cold, and I just thought, is there something that he can get that's going to be colder than what he's using now, where he might not use as much in?
Why not just leave the PG and VG out and just squirt the WS23 right in the tank?
yeah. Just have a lick first before you vape it. Yeah.
It's like a tequila shot. Yeah.
There's a
Don't forget the lime after. Yeah.
There's a site I used to have bookmarked. Can't remember what the actual name of the site is, but the title on there was "What's Cold and Cold," and it used to actually go through the history of the Wilkinson sword additives like WS3, WS23.
Wilkinson swords. I liked it so much I bought the company.
It's Wilkinson sword. It was originally it's
for the shaving,
what's
for the
in the shave. Yeah, it's what's in the shaving foam.
Right.
It's what's in the shaving foam, and it expanded out into food additives and everything else. Let's see if I can find the link and I'll drop it into chat.
All right, I wonder. So that'll be same as what's in that. Is that Australian mint thing that gives you that when you wash your bollocks? It fucking stings like mad. Have you not used that shower gel?
What,
Is
the
what?
Altoids?
Manscaped.
No, not Manscaped. No, it's the they do that. They do shampoo. It's just, well, shower gel that's got that cold. You know what I mean? But when you wash your bits down there, it's like, whoop, like that.
Yeah. Next time, leave the hot water on in your shower. It might help.
Yeah. Don't let anybody flush the toilet when you're in the shower.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought maybe there's something. Maybe everybody knows if anybody else. But just thought it might help him out a little bit. Might get him a little bit.
As I say, if he's using that much, he may as well make some up himself with getting the crystals. Who does the crystals? There's somebody who does the crystals, and I can't remember who it is. It might be E-Cig Shop who actually does the crystals.
So you do the same as you do with menthol. You just put it in PG dilution and put it in microwave for like 30 seconds and then leave it.
Well, if it's in PG, it will dilute anyway.
It just takes a little longer.
Yeah.
That's it. The mint and tea tree. That's the one shampoo. Cheese just put it in. I put the mint and tea tree. Yeah, it's fucking hell, man.
Oh,
shampoo.
That does not sound pleasurable at all. No.
Yeah, exactly. The mint original sauce. That's the ones. That's the ones that you put it on. I thought, it'd be nice. It's supposed to wake you up and make you refresh. Okay, now it wakes you up. Jeez.
It's called Head and Shoulders, not Head and. Oh, never mind.
All right. Albert Valentini saying Flavor West Extreme Ice has a flavour. It's not just cooling, and McGruver put that one. It's got a medical TCP taste to it if you overdo it.
It's like that polar ice. A polar ice, if you push it too high, it starts getting minty.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I found with the WS-23. I don't get it as much.
And for some odd reason, the Flavora one starts getting hot.
Getting hot?
Yeah.
Icy hot.
Pushed it. It's like, cool, pushing it higher. Oh, that's hot. That's not cold. That's hot.
You're burning away skin cells inside. That's what it is.
Yeah. Have you found it yet, Liam?
Yeah, I've trying to colour it out on the PC so that I can make sure that I'm typing it in right.
Yeah, so you don't get a porn bot coming up like Russian ones.
Yeah, exactly. It's Leffingwell is the site. Cooler than menthol. It actually goes into the full chemical breakdown of the actual components, but also goes over all the WS additives you can actually get. Now, not all of them are going to be
vapable.
Not vapable, and not all of them are going to. Even if they are vapable, they might not necessarily be available.
Yeah. Can you find that site for him, Graham, that does the crystals?
Yeah, I was just typing in. I'll search for it and I'll message him. I've got his.
Just drop it in chat for him. Someone else might want it as well. They might want it to try that at home. I have done the menthol one on myself. Got some menthol crystals.
You can get it from Amazon.
Bill,
Yeah,
you
you
find
put
this
the
interesting.
menthol crystal in your mouth right off. You just knuckle tested it.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah,
Live.
don't do it. Don't put it in your mouth.
Knuckle
Jeez.
tested a crystal.
I put one in my mouth, a crystal.
Oh,
It's not nice.
But I found WS-23 and that's concentrate. Crystal
Albert's saying
flavour,
that Drip Axe used to do it.
Yeah. I think that was it. It was Drip Hacks. But every time I go to it, it seems to be sold out.
Probably because
Yeah,
they're popular.
I've got that one up. WS-23 powder. Coolada WS-23 powder.
All right.
Looks like it's in stock.
So there you go,
Sweet.
Mark. What you can do then is you can have a line of it.
like CJ.
yeah, just put it, just line it up and put it on your tongue, just like Benny.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Just do a line of WS-23 powder and then have a vape.
Yeah. Just get you a straw and
Yeah.
I'm still trying, Graham, but I'm still not getting caramel.
Yeah.
The strawberry. I'm sorry.
Oh dear. So yeah, so you might notice what the topic was on the thing that says how much is genius, something like that. I think or something like that.
True cost of genius.
The cost of genius, yes. Cloud Sugar, you all right? So what I thought we'd talk about is like from a standpoint of a DIY mixer, how much you sort of costing to get yourself into it, and how much you're progressing with it, and then how much as Graham's doing manufacturing, because we've seen things that are popping up now that saying I can do it for £2. They can do it for £2. Why they're charging £17, £18 for it? I used to think like that. Till you start looking into what the costing is. So we just thought we'd talk about that and then see what everybody else wants to talk about in chat. If you've got any recipes that you're struggling with, I'd like to know about that blackcurrant cheesecake, because blackcurrant to me always tastes floral.
Blackberry cheesecake.
Blackberry. Yeah, it's always.
It's using the one that flavors Mora.
All right.
One of the best blackberry I've tasted, to be honest. Closely followed by the Vape Train blackberry.
Right, because I never know why they do blackberry and it tastes floral, because when I eat blackberries, I don't get any floral in it at all.
Yeah, it's the same with raspberries, though, where raspberries actually end up with a little bit of floral note on the end of them, whereas when you actually eat a raspberry, you don't get that floral at all. It's got to be it's got to be one of the components that they're using that gives it that floral, and they just go a little bit too heavy-handed on it.
There you go. Right, have a look there. He's just dropped it in there, so you might be able to put that powder up. And how would he mix? What would he do with the powder then? Does it tell you how to mix it, or does it give you mixing instructions? Because obviously,
I don't think it probably won't come with mixing instructions.
So we need to sort of point him in the right direction about how to mix it, don't we, really? So
for safety's sake, that might be a wise idea.
It might be. We might have a look. Yeah, it might be a good idea.
If you wind up to just pure crystal on your tongue, it might not go so well.
Yeah.
You realize if you took menthol crystal, dropped a few letters, and inverted the words, you'd have crystal meth. Yeah. I'm just saying.
If it turns out blue, you can make a lot of money on a movie.
Yeah.
This is Wolfcam how to mix it, but he's not around. I don't.
Yeah, it just says on the Drip Hack site to dilute in PG at 10 to 50%. Sparingly. PG.
PG.
I do believe that there is something you need to do to actually get them to dissolve properly. I'm
guessing,
not too sure whether it's constant mixing or whether you need to warm up the PG a little bit.
Yeah, with menthol crystals, you had to put the crystal in. So you put to make your 10% dilution of menthol, you put your crystal in, and then you had to warm it up with the PG in. Like, the quickest way to do it is in a microwave for like 10 seconds and melt it down and then check it.
You shouldn't go over a certain degree. I think it's 60 degrees. You shouldn't go over. So ultrasonic or a warm Luke bath. Just put it.
So when you get a bath on a night, take it in with you, mate. mix your ball up first. Get in the bath, and while you're doing your hair and that, give it a shake.
Magoofer is saying just use a cup of hot water with 10 ml of PG for 1 gram.
There you go.
Because sometimes stuff like this doesn't dissolve, and it takes. I was doing CBD,
right,
and trying to get that to dissolve, and it just wouldn't dissolve. It took me about 2 weeks to get the damn thing to dissolve properly.
Yeah. Make sure I'm the same by next month. We'll be just mixing 1 pot of crystals in each short fill. I'm just adding it to it, won't it? Adding powder to mix. So yeah, McGuff is saying just leave the PG in a cup of warm water for 20 minutes or so. So get your 10ml bottle and add so weigh it out. If you've got some scales, probably the easiest way to do it. Just weigh it out.
2 peas on one side, and it's okay.
2 peas. Can drop his bollocks on one side and weigh it on the other.
People will know about the 2 peas. Those who know.
Yeah.
Don't forget the 3 seashells, though. That's important as well.
Yeah. So, 1 gram of the powder to 10 ml of PG will give you a 10% dilution.
So I suppose if you wanted it a little bit stronger, it could put a little bit more in. It could do 15. See what that comes out. 20%.
From what they were saying on Drip Hacks, you could go right up to 50%. But you might find then that that's gonna, if you go up that high, it's probably going to be a right pain in the ass to actually get it to dissolve in a small amount of PG.
So yeah, so I'd try it at 10 first, see what you think, and then you could put it up to 15, maybe 20.
As it's the WS23 powder, the WS23 he's probably been using is more than likely the 30% dilution anyway. Because the places tend to sell it at 10% and 30%. A lot of the ones I've seen are 30%. But sometimes you'll see people saying that they've had to use 4% WS23 in their mix. But then it turns out that they've been using the 10% dilution.
Well, that might be why he's having to put a load in, though, mightn't it?
Could be.
That could be why he's having to put more WS23 now to get that kick. Because I don't know, where are you getting your WS23 from, Mark?
Yeah, it could actually be diluted.
It could be down to 10% instead of 30%. Do you know what I mean? Game changer works well. If we could get a game changer that was cheap, Zippy, we would do it. There's only one person that not. Have you got one, Liam, as well? You've got one, haven't you?
Yeah, Liam and
Graham
Graham.
has one. Zippy has one. Yep.
Yeah.
You can actually buy homogenizers. Saw a homogenizer. I think it was about 80 or 90 quid. Chinese one. But I have no idea how good that one actually is. From looking at reviews, it seems that they actually supply you with some spare parts because it seems like the parts break on it quite frequently.
I just buy my milk already homogenized. I don't mess with all that shit.
I just get it from China, Barit, son.
Yeah.
So yeah, so do let us know if you get some Jackson. Like I say, let us know where you're getting it from. We can have a 30ml bottle I put near the whole bottle in. Yeah, exactly. Where you getting your WS23 from? That might be the thing.
They should tell you on the label as well, though. There is 10% or 30%. If not, double check the site just to make sure.
Yeah, because I remember when I ordered mine, there was a couple different options for the percentage. Because
if you used to say 4% WS23 and you've only been using 10% dilution, and then put 4% of the 30% dilution, and then there's a good chance you might actually blow the top of your head off with how cold it'll be.
Yeah, Benny, you should have called this show Cold as Ice.
Cold as Ice, yeah. We'll move on in a minute anyway. He's getting it from Flavour Boss and Dark Star, so you just need to have a look what percentages. Rocky Jr. saying, cap a jelly candy, can it jam up a strawberry? How high can it go? Has anybody used jelly candy?
Which jelly candy is? The cap
jelly?
Cap.
Jelly candy is the one which goes those halves on the bottle, isn't it?
Yeah, with the cap jelly candy, I've gone up as high as 2% to actually get it to jam up the fruit, give you that gummy mouth feel. But the high
0.7. I've only used it as a fruit enhancer.
Yeah, the higher up you go on it, the more that gummy mouth feel comes through. So if you end up using it at 2% with, say, paired with the wrong strawberry, where the strawberry's a little bit weaker, you might actually end up with more of a strawberry gummy candy as opposed to the jam. So I'd start there off at around 0.75, 0.75, and then just build it up until you get that mouthfeel you want.
So I hope that helps. Ian Thomas is saying, why do cherry flavours taste of cough syrup?
Because they can.
Yeah.
Because they can.
It's one of the. It's got to be one of the. Chemicals used to actually make cherry flavour that some places just go a little bit higher on. Same as with the florals in raspberry and blackberries and off notes where they shouldn't be. It could also be a little bit of nostalgia, because if you used to have a lot of cherry flavored medicine when you were a child, you start associating cherries with medicinal, and that's all you taste.
Yeah, if you want cherry flavor, just put almonds in it. You'll get cherry flavor. That's how I get cherry flavor. If I put almond in something, it tastes like cherry.
Oh, there we go. Russian boxing.
Zippy saying she's gone up to 5% on the jelly candy.
Jelly candy, yep. Yeah, that's one of the ones that's on my to get list, wish list, because of, I think it's actually Zippy.
Right, so the main topic is so everybody's attacking them and putting them in timeout, and 30-second I've just reported them.
Timeout delete.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Right now, I think he's timed out for like 900 seconds so far. So.
yeah. It won't be coming back in no time
I thought
soon.
it said hours. I clicked the wrong button.
Oh, okay.
So like I say, main topic is about sort of costings and things like that. So as when you first start out, you look at it, and like with anything when you first start vaping. All right, Jackson, speak to you later, buddy. Hope you can try it out and let us know what that you've got it and tried it. It would be appreciated. So obviously first out, you buy your first vape pen or your first thing. Cellar Dweller, you all right, mate? And then you sort of move on, you want to get into mixing, and you find that you're buying mixing all the time. You're buying all these, because at first it can be really, really expensive, can't it? When you're first starting out. So, like Bill, we were just talking about before, weren't you? You were saying the first sort of year is when you're going to be.
When you buy cheap scales from eBay and then decide.
It's building up. And the other thing is you spend more time talking to Graham and Zoom, so you buy more shit, because every time you go on, he tells you, get this,
squirreled into
that.
stuff.
Then you find out it's shit. You don't really need it, so you give it away. But basically, yeah, you're going to go, you're going to, you expand that first year big time, I think. You're getting stuff, and then you're like, oh, well, then somebody mentions a flavor and you don't have it. Somebody mentions, you go on the ELR, and every time you go on, there's always 2 flavors you don't have in the damn recipe, and you got to order those. And then once you get done, like I said, basically somewhere after, that amount of time, once you have it all, then your costs pretty much as a DIYer bottoms totally out. I mean,
Unless you spend £20 on a mystery box and you get steak.
Yeah.
Well, only if you order
the
the miscellaneous one.
Yeah.
Have you tried it now that it's steeped out a little bit?
Mate, he stunk my room out for 2 fucking days. All I could smell were that for 2 days.
The other problem you have when you first start out as well, if you're going on a recipe on ELR or anything like that, you go to one site and you can only get half the flavors on one site. Then you've got to go to another site and get the other half of the flavors. And then there's one flavor that you can't get, which is on another site.
Yeah. You just buy all these flavors, like here in the US, so some of them they're almost impossible to get. So you get all the flavorings and you realize, oh, I've missed that one. Oh, I can't get that. So you did all that, and now you got to figure out something on your own.
Yeah. And then there's also where you've gone on, you've done everything right that you should be doing, looking up really well rated recipes and everything else, bought all the flavors for it. Then they arrive and you decide that you don't actually like half the flavors that you're supposed to be using because they don't suit your palate. So then you got to go out and
find the ones,
buy another dozen of each flavor just to find out what ones that you actually like.
Or you went out and you got strawberry thinking, okay, these 3, and then you get them, and then you're like, I don't really like this strawberry. Then you're watching a show like ours, and they're like, oh no, that strawberry's not any good. That one, the ones to get is this one, this one, this one. So then you go get those strawberries and you add them to them, and then somebody tells you, well, if you mix these 2 together, then you'll get this, and so now you got to have that strawberry. But like I said, once you've been into it for a while, then you start to really settle into it. And as we were using an example, just like with mods or tanks or whatever else, when you first started as a hobbyist, especially, you're starting from nothing. You're going to go build up an inventory. And once it gets so high, now you don't need to, continue doing it. All you're going to do is go back and just replenish whatever those great flavors are that you have that you use frequently.
An example here for that would be the vanilla bean ice creams. We have right on this panel people that are Flavor West and people that aren't. It's just, and it depends on your taste and whether or not you taste that peppery taste or an off note.
Yeah.
Personally, Flavor West is the only one I have had of those that doesn't have that peppery taste to me. So
yeah,
I think for me, Premier Custard is the one I replenish, and Holy Holy RY4. Replenish that quite often.
Well, that's it. Once you, like you say, once you've got through that first bit and you found your flavour profile that you like to play around with, it's not going to cost you as much. But your first initial thing when you're buying, like I say, Zippy's got 1,400 flavours. GCSA's got 600 flavours. When you get balls deep into it and you're going down that road, you do end up with a lot of flavours, and half of them you'll never use. Do you know what I mean?
Or if you do use
Right,
it,
but she's saying I still don't have them all. But the thing about it is, she doesn't have to buy those 1,400 now. She's got those, and so now it's a few flavors here and a few flavors there.
Yes, I mean,
when you're first starting, you're 20 flavors here. The next order you place is $160 for, and the stuff's costing you $1.40 a bottle or something.
And Liam already brought up something else that's actually cost effectiveness. Like he already repurposed the bottle. If you're actually DIYing for yourself, you can repurpose bottles. I'll save you a little bit of money. Whereas if you're making it for someone else, that's a big factor because you can't repurpose that bottle.
No.
So, like I say, you are going to, your first initial, when you first get into it, you're going to, because you're going to be really excited about it. And you are going to find that, and it's like I say, when you first get into it, it's not going to be cheap. You like I say, Duck says he bought some salter scales and then bought some, buy some Triton ones with weights.
That's exactly what I did.
And they were, so he did it, weighed it, and fact, cheaper ones was accurate anyway. Do you know what I mean? So you are going to think to yourself, I'll get this, I'll get that. You know, and you'll get, you start off like, not so much now, but originally we got syringes and, you're having to get different syringes to do different pipettes and, you were doing everything like that. It's not too bad with weighing it now. Get yourself, up scales that you're happy with.
About a year and a half ago, I did a costing of how much I spent on concentrates. I did a spreadsheet of how much I spent on concentrates and how much it was costing me a week, and it came round to, I think it was about £8 a week it was costing me for me vaping.
Yeah.
So that was with 600 concentrates at the time.
Yeah.
And the PG and the VG and the nicotine bottles came around to about that price.
And Rocky's saying, does anyone else get pepper tasting lemons? It just might be him. It might be a lemonade out.
You might just need to stop vaping lemons so much and just revisit them in a couple of weeks' time.
You want to know how to stop vaping lemon? Hit me up, Rocky. I can tell you.
Yeah. And Trevor Lyon's saying when he first started making wine, it cost me about 200 to start off. Yeah, that's what you're going to get because you're going to start off with all the stuff. But once you've got it, you don't need to get any more. Varga's saying, to all casters, how many flavours in your stash? I've got flavours coming out of my ass, to be honest with you. I've got nowhere else to put them. I would say that I've probably got a rough count, maybe 200, 250 maybe.
I've got nearly 300.
Yeah,
I've got about 900.
If you've got them coming out your ass, Benny, could you ship me a Capella sugar cookie?
Yeah, I could if you want this. Yeah,
I got a list too. I'll give you my wish list. There we go.
I stopped counting when I hit 1,000.
Not that bad.
I'm probably looking at about 1,500.
Yeah, the thing is if you put them into like the vaping community, then all you got to do is go in there and look. It'll tell you how many you got. If you don't have them all in there, then you got to count.
Yeah, I've got to count them. I've like to say, I've got them all over the place because obviously we do see sales and I buy stuff to test it. To see what they're like, and I've just got 20 flavours there, Anna, that were half of them was shit. Do you know what I mean? So that's 20 there straight away. Do you know? Right, and I bought. Go on, sorry,
I think that's fine. Go ahead. Yeah, I lost it.
It's all right. It's all right.
Go on.
Yeah, like Duck saying about keeping his bottles and that lot. When you've got them, keep them. You can use them again. You nick shots and things like that. Nick shots are great because you use them once.
Yeah, the nick shot ones are perfect for a tester.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're doing something of that nature, but it's kind of like opening a business. When you first open, you got an empty building, and then you got to buy all the stock to put in the building. So your initial cost, your upfront cost, is what it is, and now you have all of that. But now the thing that you also have is the cost of the inventory and keeping it, and inventory is money. And if you're actually not doing it as a DIYer, if you are doing it as a business, then you have got a lot more costs than a DIYer has, because
Yes.
you've got to have a lot more equipment. You've got to have a lot more other stuff. And your upfront cost as a DIYer is going to be thousands of times more than it is as
Yes.
as a business is going to be thousands of times more than it is as a DIYer. So you can't compare and say, well, I can DIY this bottle for $3, and so I don't know why you're charging $20. Well, that's like saying I can go out and build put a car together for $8,000. Why are they charging $30,000?
$30,000, yes,
because you don't have the factory, the equipment, the people, the payroll, the whatever else. And it's the same way with this.
Every
you don't
step
have
that goes through,
all
they
of the
charge
things
more.
that you have to have legally to make this stuff and produce it.
Rasper, you all right, mate? Yeah, that's where it comes to, like you say, Bill's just brought it on to manufacturing sort of thing. So we know that you can make a bottle of e-liquid for, it doesn't cost, an average, you're making it yourself with your nicotine, your PG, your VG, you might average it out to maybe £1.50. Do you know what I mean? £2 maybe at tops.
Sometimes when people are factoring in how much it actually costs them to make a 60 ml bottle for themselves, they also forget to factor in the cost of the bottle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the cost of the cap, because with these type of bottles, the caps are always separate. You always have to pay separate for the caps. The cost of the labels which go on. These are just crappy handwritten labels. But even then, you're picking up a roll of say 200 labels for £2. So that'll factor in as well. But
you also have to
kind of touched on too.
Yeah,
when you start off with the DIY, you start off, you usually buy like maybe a 10 ml of a flavor. Well, that's going to cost more per unit than when you buy a bigger bottle later, when you figure out which ones you like. So that initial cost is up there because you're buying it for a more expensive price to try it before you went and buy the big bottle, which will save you money in the end. Costs more money up front, but in the end, it'll save you money.
Yeah, now with commercial costs, you sort of touched on it earlier when you said they have to buy specialist equipment. So you've got the initial outlay first off of having a clean room or a clean hood, which at minimum those are normally £300-400.
Yes.
Try 1,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
no, I mean for a flow hood.
For the flow hood, around about 1,000.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and then you've got to change the filters.
Yes.
Yeah, so
certain amount of usage.
and then
the filters come in around about £300-400.
And then you don't need a bottling machine, but if you're bottling up hundreds of these, you're going to want a bottling machine.
When I came on the Zoom one time, have you seen the blisters?
Yeah.
And then you've got to pay for your labels.
Yeah.
That's actually
surprisingly, when I started, the costs started going, because I'm a small producer, I do low quantities. I don't have the economies of scale that big companies have.
Yeah.
But the more research I was doing, the more the startup costs started just going up and up and up and up. Because originally I went to a company and said, well, can you make this? And the only quote I got was £6,000 for 1,000. So it worked out at £6 a bottle.
Yeah. And then you've also got the extra costs then. If you're not very good at graphic design, you've got to pay somebody to actually come up with your logo and design your bottle and everything. That can easily be another couple of £100 on top.
Yeah.
So
there's little things which I found it was like that. Well, I forgot I've got my lab coat to get. I've got all the hairnets to get. I've got all the gloves to get. I've got the footwear to get. Then I've got the isopropylene, the alcohol for cleaning.
For cleaning, yeah.
And then I've got packing tape. I've got all the envelopes to get. I've got to get the printers to print the labels. And it just started to go. I was just like, what? Yeah. I got to a stage at one point, it was like that going, is it too late to jump out? Is it too late to jump out? These costs are racking up.
And the other thing that manufacturers do, which DIYers don't necessarily do, is this could be version 9 of my liquid. Now, this actual liquid itself might have only cost me £1.50, but I've done 9 versions of that, and each version has also cost me £1.50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that then has to be factored in to the cost of the juice that you release, because otherwise you're just throwing money away.
And you might get a point where you make some, you send it out there, you get it ready, and you get feedback that you need to change something. Yeah. And then again, that winds up being the same situation.
And Pocket was version 13.
Yeah, and you sat there as well. You sat there for maybe a total of 12 hours coming up with just one flavor, if not much, much longer than 12 hours. And you've got to pay yourself for that time.
Yes.
Oh, it was longer than 12 hours for Graham, trust me.
Yeah.
Much longer than 12 hours.
So that also then gets factored into the cost of the initial juice. Because like you, Benny, I thought, £20 for a juice from a shop.
Yes.
How are they doing 20? Are they doing 20 quid when I can make it myself for £1.50?
Yeah.
And when you start looking into it, I mean, these bigger companies, they got payroll, so they got all their staff to pay. They got rent on their properties to pay. They've got all of their overhead costs, like the electric and
everybody's out to make something out of it, aren't they?
And then you've got to get it. You have to get the product to the consumer also. So you've got shipping costs, or you've got, basically to go out to the individual vape shops and to get with them, and then to get them to stock yours. So you've got sales costs. You've got, there's all kinds of costs. If you think of any business out there, and you know what the cost of those businesses are, then you've got to also equate that to, a juice business, just the same as you would anything else.
And advertising and marketing as well. Even if you're the one running the whole lot in the company, doing everything yourself, you have to be paid for your time. Yeah. Because if you're not being paid for your time, then there's absolutely no point in doing the business in the first place.
And you
and any paperwork you need to have filed and taken care of, you got to pay for that. You got to pay for any lawyers if that tends to be a thing. That's even on top of all that. That's never included.
The accountant to pay for.
Yeah.
You've got 20% tax to pay for. You've got mistakes to pay for.
Yeah.
You do make mistakes. Every company has a fund where they just go, there's the mistakes of.
Yeah, I mean, you go to pick up that 1 litre bottle of strawberry that you're going to use for your mix, and oh crap, I just dropped that on the floor.
I've done that. And then you're spending 3 hours on your knees trying to clear up flavor 1 litre of flavor concentrate, which is all over the floor.
As well as the cost of having to reorder that flavor again to actually put into your
juice.
juice.
Entertainment cost where you took your clients out to the strip club to
Lanzarote or wherever it took Mick.
Sending him out. The biggest barrier as well is getting your name out there as well. That is tough. I've sent my juices to so far 26 reviewers.
So you've got to figure that in at cost as well, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got to figure that in, and that's all. That's postage, packaging, that's the label.
That's all advertising costs. Basically, you bundle it all into one thing. It's advertising costs. The cost to ship it to them, the cost to make all that stuff, and everything else that goes into one lump thing as an advertising cost.
And that trip to the strip club, sometimes your clientele feel a little uncomfortable going alone with just you, so you need a +1. Bill is willing to do that for cost.
Yeah, the Vapex hotel.
So
that's a bonus. That's a bonus, though.
Yeah. So it is. Like I say, I was in that mindset of why does e-liquid, when you're buying it, cost that much? When I know how much mixing it myself, how much it is. But then you've got factors. I believe that some of them charge too much. Do you know what I mean? When you look at it and you think, why are they charging £25 for 120 ml? It's no better than my $17.99 bottle of juice. Do you know what I mean? You know, and I'm thinking, why is it that much?
Well, then don't buy it. You know,
with-
I mean,
No,
that's
it.
that's the thing is if they're charging too much, the market will say you're charging too much. People will be like $17.99 better, 25 worse. I don't buy.
But a lot
Yeah,
of big
but
manufacturers rely on the name, don't they? You see, so
Yeah,
they charge the top dollar.
Yeah, so it's the same in the clothing world. I mean, you can buy a £3 T-shirt from Primark, which is just as good as any other T-shirt on the market, or you can go out and spend £150 on a Gucci T-shirt.
Yeah,
They're
Well,
both
you
T-shirts
can-
at the same.
Yeah, if you go buy a Nike shirt, it's going to cost you $80-90.
Yeah, it's because you're paying for the label.
Yeah.
So that's why they're charging £25 because people recognise their name. They're a known brand.
Yes.
They can charge it because people will pay for it.
Yes.
People will buy it. People will buy it at that price.
As it goes on and you do get traction, you can start bringing those prices down once you start covering the cost of the initial layout and everything like that.
Yeah, because
start reducing the cost as you go down. The more you sell, the more you can reduce the cost because you're buying in bulk and you've got the economies of scale working then for you.
But the one that Mike just mentioned, isn't that juice that had the actual gold flakes in it?
Yes, that was the one that
not good for you
Mountain
to
Oak
vape in the first place.
Vapor did it, didn't he? He had some, that Mountain Oak Vapor, wasn't it? They had some that comes in a gold bottle and, you know.
But if you start putting out shit product, I don't care what your name is. If you start putting out shit product for a while, people are going to get turned off to it, whether or not you got the name or not. If it's like, well, you know, this is a really good name, but you know, the sleeves fell off my shirt, then you ain't buying them anymore. You're gonna be like, well, I ain't buying any shit from that company anymore.
That's why people like 88 Vape and those can actually sell their liquids really cheap because a lot of the time they're really
buy
simple.
it in bulk.
They're really simple recipes anyway, but they're a huge manufacturer, so they're probably buying 30-40 gallons of a flavor.
Yeah, volume. It's what it is. It's just volume.
Yeah. And that's like I said, that's what it is. That's with them. But some of their juices are shit anyway. Do you know what I mean? Because they're not using the best. They're not using the best flavors.
The other thing,
say
if you're based in the UK, you'll find a lot of companies will use the same flavor house and get their flavors custom made for them.
Yeah.
So there's no import duties, there's no shipping from different countries and everything like that. With me, I've got to ship from all over the world.
Well, that's the thing. If you're buying £200 worth of £200 worth of concentrate from the States, you could then be paying another £150 on top of that just for shipping. And then if it gets hit, and then if it gets
with a customs fee too on top of it.
If it gets hit by customs, then you're paying 20% on top of that, as well as a handling fee.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the handling fee.
Yeah, so by the time you've bought £200 worth of concentrate, and you're now paying £200 just to get it over here. So that's doubled your costs.
And sometimes there was one, especially one of the one-on-one concentrates. It actually worked out cheaper buying it on retail from chefs for the quantities I needed. I was just like that, going right and clear chefs out.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what. But
you're the reason. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I can't get any stuff. Yeah, it is that. That's right. Because what is it? Witherspoons. They're because we have a chain of public houses, pubs around here that are called Witherspoons, and they sell things really, really cheap. But they buy in mass bulk, and they buy it just before it goes out of date because they know they're going to turn around and get rid of it.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So they'll sell like 5 bottles of beer for like a £5. Do you know what I mean? And because they know that it's just going to go out the door, and it's not going to be sat on the shelves that long. So they buy it in bulk, and it gets it out there. And
this is another reason why you get kind of like flavor houses, juice companies just going, and here's a range of ice creams, 6 ice creams, because they've just bought so much ice cream concentrate and then just dropped flavors on top of them, and there's the range.
I mean, you can go on places like iBottles and pick up bottles dirt cheap. But when you look at the quantities that you have to buy to get them dirt cheap, you're looking at you can pick up a bottle for say 10 pence, but you have to buy 10,000 of them to have it at 10 pence.
Well,
then you have to be able to store it anyway.
on Chubby Gorillas from where I get it. The first price break, not the bottom price break where you get them really cheap, is 10,000.
Yeah.
10,000 for
That's
the
a lot,
first
huh?
price break, and then it drops 2p for the second price break, which is 50. Then it drops like 5p for like 100, and then and then I was looking at it, just go, oh my god, I only want 500.
Yeah, well, that's the thing here. It's like I had a buddy of mine that I used to go off with all the time, and he had a place here in town called the Appliance Store. And we're a smaller town, smaller market. They were like a mom and pop, you know, the brothers that owned this store and everything. And they, you know, sold refrigerators and washer, dryers, TV stuff and everything. And then Lowe's comes in, like over off the bypass. Yeah. And basically they had to shut their store down. You know,
yeah.
I mean, because there's no way they can compete buying power wise with Lowe's.
Yeah.
Lowe's is,
because they can't buy in bulk and get the cheapest prices.
And so it's not that they didn't have as good a product. It's not that they didn't give better service. It's not that anything else. It's just they can't compete. It's like when a Walmart comes to your town, it shuts down half the stores there when they were all building around and everything.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's the same with liquid. You know, you can't compete with the large places price wise. It just can't be done.
Yeah, I mean, for someone like Graham, being a small business, even if the money was there to go out and buy 30,000 bottles, 40 gallons of each flavor, you then got to have somewhere to store it. So then you have to go out then and rent another unit to store it in, which negates a lot of the savings that you've made buying it in bulk in the first place.
Yeah. Your inventory. That's what I was talking about before.
Yeah.
Your cost of inventory is basically a part of your cost. Even after you have everything, when you're still carrying it in inventory, that's still dead money. Until you move that, you can't make money on inventory that's sitting here on your shelf.
And flavorings have a shelf life too.
Yeah.
Like if you buy too much of it and you don't use it all, that's cost that just goes out the window.
Yeah, I mean, for us, doing it for ourselves, don't care about dates. You know,
no, exactly. Same with the liquids. A lot of times those liquid sales that you see, the real cheap sales, they'll either be out of date or just about out of date by the time they go on those.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it still tastes good. I can use that.
Yeah, it's still fine, but
when you're manufacturing to sell to people, you can't do that.
Yeah, so I hope that clears a few things up on that. Just wanted to point these things out. Like, do you know what I mean when you're buying it? Cloud Chucker said he got 2 bottles of juice, 100ml dimple berry ice and black ice for £30. You know, so that's your £15 mark. I think that's about right. You know, sort of your 17 to 18, your 15 to 18 pound for your 120s is probably, you know, after you're getting an half decent juice there. Magoofer says he's vaping on Fluffy Straw Muff, and he put a recipe in. He dropped it in there, which was 5% strawberry ripe, 5% sweet strawberry. I'm guessing it's Capella. We've been saying 5% graham cracker, 3% sweet cream, 2% Bavarian cream. I like that combo, Bavarian and sweet cream. I like that one. And fluffy white cake. Is that from Capella? That's not from Capella though. Is it fluffy white cake?
That's
Wonder Flavors.
Yeah,
Wonder Flavors.
Yeah,
unless
fluffy white. Yeah,
I know Capella have dropped some new flavors. They haven't dropped a fluffy white cake, have they? As one of their new flavors.
I don't know.
I think fluffy white cake is definitely Wonder Flavors. I get royal icing from that for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, 2% I will get royal icing.
See, that's not actually a terrible idea if you can get some icing out of the cake itself.
Yeah, you were telling me that, but I used it and I didn't get that. But
But then again, you know, I keep on trying. I've been trying this whole show to get that caramel out of the strawberry, and I haven't got it.
Yeah. And Trev Lyon will put in, is there a basic range of concentrates that novice mixers should have in their cupboard? And a few people have pointed him to VC. Yeah. Says there's top 100 concentrates on the VC show with the Wheel of Mixed Fortune, which is a pinch from us.
And then we pinch theirs. I've
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
So we pinch back. You know, pinch us, we'll pinch you. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So you probably look at staple. It depends what your flavour profile is. That's what you've got to look at when you're buying your concentrates. Like Bill will tell you, he's a prime example of someone that's bought a load of concentrates and then reduced it down to what he likes to vape. You know, so that's where you need to look at what you're actually, because there's a staple for me and there's a staple for you that's totally different. Everybody will have a total different staple of ones that they have in their stash.
And just because you like something doesn't mean you're going to like that in vape.
It doesn't mean you'll like an individual flavor, because like we're talking about with the vanilla bean ice cream, there's several different flavor houses that make it, and everybody has their favorite, and they might completely hate a different one of a flavor that sounds good, might be within your profile, but maybe that flavoring doesn't work for you.
And there's also a good chance that not every one of those 100 top flavors you're actually going to like.
No,
yes,
right.
Yes, exactly. So I'd say, go and have a look at it, see what they're recommending, but look what your flavour profile is going to be, look what you're vaping now. So what your favourite flavours are when you're vaping them.
Or if he's on Facebook, join Monkey on Juice, message me and I can help you pick.
Yeah, Graham will cost you.
Yeah, Graham will cost you a fortune. Yeah,
because I mean,
Graham.
I'll put it to you like
Graham
this.
or Liam
I
helping
like
you, or
chocolate.
Zippy, you're gonna spend a lot of money.
I like chocolate. I wouldn't order a chocolate vape. I've tried it a ton of times. I can't get it to come out to fit my taste buds. Other people say, hey, I like the chocolate vape, and that's fine. I can't do it. I like orange. I can't get orange to come out to taste. I like apple. I've tried to do apple vapes.
Did you try
really haven't never
juice
got apple to come out to fit? And people will tell you, well, try this combo, try this. And I spent a lot of money trying these combos and this things and that things until I finally just got to the point where I've got 6 chocolates and 4 oranges and this there and that there. And I was finally just like, okay, enough's enough. I'm just going to, you finally just have to say, okay, I can't quite get, my taste buds just aren't liking the way vape stuff tastes this way. So even when you think you really like something, or you really like something, which in this case I do, it doesn't mean that it's going to transfer over to that works for you in a vape.
Graham's doing the same thing with his search for strawberry.
Yeah.
Trying to find a strawberry that
I've
works.
26 strawberries.
Yeah, and trying to get one that you can actually taste. I mean, you might be onto something right now, maybe, but you'll have to try it.
I'm the same with grapes. I keep buying grapes just to try, just so I can hit that one that doesn't taste like diesel to me. But
yeah. So
not a lot of success so far.
If you put your flavour profile, if you put your flavour profile in, you might, if what you're vaping on now, we might be able to say to you, well, you could do this is what you'll be using all the time. We might be able to help you out there. But like, I like strawberries, so I'd have the recipe that McGoover's just put in, strawberry sweet, strawberry ripe. To me, that strawberry ripe is a staple. Whichever strawberry ripe you use, it's a staple. Your sweet strawberry. I've just found Mum and Pop's sweet strawberry, which gives me more of a Just Jam sort of taste to it. And I like that Just Jam because it's the jammy sort of taste. So where I've used Capella sweet strawberry before, and you real flavour, so you sort of got to know without, like Bill's just said, buying 26, or Graham just said 26 strawberries. You need to sort of work it out what you're wanting out of your stash.
That's what we're here for. If you're after a certain type of strawberry or a certain type of flavour, just ask it. Pop in.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Ask and we can help you out.
And it might be one of those things that if you're really chasing like that unicorn thing, don't do it all at once. Find something you like that you can handle, that you like once you figure it out. And like every time you order some flavorings or something, grab another 1 or 2 at a time to try until you get there. So you're not like blowing a whole bunch of money and find out you don't like any of them. Like it sounds like sadly Bill did.
Yeah.
Well, no, I ordered a couple here, and then I'd watch another show, or I'd talk to somebody else and I'd get a couple there. And then, I would pick somebody else's brain. I'd get a couple here. But after a while, I had like 12 or 14 of these, or I had this many of these. And then I tried some stuff that I didn't necessarily think I was going to like before I tried it, and it turned out I didn't. But I still ordered a couple bottles. RY4 was a good example because I was thinking I don't really tobacco flavor is not that much for me, but they're like, well, RY4 is different. Try this brand or this. So I tried that, and you find out after a while, okay, I'm not doubting that these people don't like their chocolate vapes that they're making, or they don't like their orange vapes that they're making, or whatever else they do. It's just, it's not working on my taste buds.
Yeah.
I'm not getting out of it. So I'm like, I'm just going to wipe this clean, send these to somebody else that can use them and that will love them and give them a good home and not be cruel to them and stuff. And,
Well, not neglect them like you will.
Yeah. So he's saying that at the moment it's custards and cakes. So your staple would be, you're going to get your Cap V1 if you don't mind DAP. You're going to get the Mollenberry Legendary custard. You're going to get custard premium. You might fancy, the custard V's and custard 2. I don't know how to call it.
Yeah, we can explain.
Wear a custard.
Yeah.
Depending on where you're from, too.
Is more of a ambrosia custard. Cap V1 is more of an eggy thick custard. And you can just try putting them together and just adjusting it so it's like really, really nice.
I highly rate the Wonder Flavors vanilla custard as well. That's for me. That's on a par with Capella. It's very similar to Capella without some of that oiliness and some of the really, really strong vanilla notes that some people get as off notes on the Cap.
And for cakes, start off with yellow cake, Flavor West yellow cake.
Get some sugar cookie. I mean, custards and bakeries is basically, you want Anawera biscuit, some stuff like that. Basically, you're right down my alley here now, Trev.
Yeah.
If you put custard cakes and vanilla in there, you and I could just get married and we'll run off together somewhere.
Like here in the U.S., our custards are a little bit more of a pudding texture. So I actually prefer mine because that's what I grew up around, is a little bit of vanilla pudding in there too with my custard flavoring to kind of round it out and make it taste more like what I know to be a custard. But that doesn't mean it's actually a custard because I think you guys originated it. So therefore, sorry, we got a knockoff version.
He's saying that it's Manchester tart, which I'm guessing probably is one of Evans's Manchester tart, and a Bakewell tart. Well, don't ask Graham about Bakewell tart because he's been trying to get a Bakewell tart for a while.
It just turns out into a gooey mess.
So obviously he's wanting a tart base. That's what he's wanting, which you can, like say, in a way, a biscuit and things like that, you can sort of build around.
Well, for one-on-one pie crust.
Pie crust.
Really, one-on-one pie crust for your base. And if you want to darken it up, use apple. Is it apple pie by FA? That's a darker pie crust.
Yep.
And that hasn't got it. That's got tiny little bit of apple you won't notice as soon as you put anything in it.
And as Magoofa said, they use TFA V2 custard now, and TFA V2 custard is not to be dismissed if you do like custards.
Yeah,
it's like that small little bit of Mullenberry Belgian waffle uses that like 0.5% with your cakes, and you give you that crispiness, especially if you're trying to make a cupcake flavor. It actually brings it out. Like that.
So obviously he's wanting a tart, so he wants a base. So you're going to be looking at, like, say, a pie crust. You're going to be looking at Innerware biscuit. You're going to be looking at, I got one the other day which were tropical tart, I couldn't taste any chocolate, but the tart was really, really nice. I can't remember which one it was. That
Vape Train.
Vape Train, yes, the Vape Train one. Give you more of the tart base, the biscuit sort of, the base rather than the fruit I wanted, and it tasted more of the fruit. I didn't taste the fruit, I tasted more of the base. So you could use that as your base and then add to that to get, put your custard on top. A Manchester tart's got your strawberry in it, so that's where you're going to be using your sweet strawberry.
Well, no, that's cheesecake. But if you're into cakes, the
Yeah, but that's the same
strawberry
thing. You could,
cheesecake,
if you
yeah.
wanted that custard, you might use a
Right.
cheesecake. You might use a strawberry cheesecake.
Wonder flavor of strawberry cheesecake. It's got the strawberries, it's got the cheesecake. You got to add a
Yeah.
little more to kind of boost them both up. You've got yellow cakes. I mean, there's some good yellow cakes out there.
Jungle
Yeah.
Flavors, 1-on-1, Flavor West.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've tried
one-
the other flavors now, and those are the two.
What- Wonder Flavors has got some pretty good cakes as well with your.
I like Capella's, yellow cake.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't know anybody else that does, but I do.
I don't mind the Capella one, to be honest.
I haven't tried it, so I can't.
With Wonder Flavors, they got the angel cake, which is good. The fluffy white cake as well, which is used a lot in a lot of recipes.
Pick yourself some Flavour West up. It's
this
got loads
way,
of
I've
nasties
used
in it, but it
that
tastes
much.
beautiful.
I've used that much Capella yellow cake out of a bottle, so I must like it some.
McGill was saying Armoured Cookie
bottles.
Wonder Flavours, super concentrated, works well for Bakewell base. So there you go. They put it in there. Have a look at that if you wanted the Bakewell base. You're going to have to build that because I know people like say you get it and it doesn't really taste of a Bakewell. You get the cherry, as we just said, becomes more medicinal, than what
Well, Nick came up with that tip on the show that time, is use raspberry jam instead of cherry.
Yeah.
And it will fool you with the almond flavor. It will fool you to thinking it's cherry.
Well, I think the almond flavor tastes like cherry to me right off the bat because I got almonds when I was doing all the nuts.
Kieran, you all right, mate?
I got some almonds thinking that, I like the walnuts, I like the hazelnut, I like so I got almonds. And then all of a sudden I was like, why am I getting cherry out of this? I was looking for an almond, not a cherry. But then basically, if you go and look, that's where whenever they do a cherry flavor, it's an almond flavorings that they use.
Yeah, we sat there in Zoom.
And marzipans too.
Flavors going cherry.
Cherry, yeah.
Cherry.
I smell cherry.
Cherry.
A lot of the marzipan flavors actually give cherry,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I say, you might be looking at if that's your profile, you're going to be looking down. Have a look on ELR and VC what people have used as for their Bakewell, and get an idea off of that, and then you can build off of that. McGill was saying there's a good Bakewell tart recipe on VC. So go over there, have a look, see what they're getting, and then you can build your stash on that. Then, rather than saying here's 100 flavors, this is what you need. You can tell you what you're probably going to use most of. You're going to use your super sweet. You're going to use your, if you're into strawberries, you're going to use your strawberry rye. We can tell you that. We can tell you custards, but then you've got to build round on what your profile is, like we're saying, and have a look at the recipes that people are using, to get that flavour that you're wanting.
Definitely get super sweet though. That's something you don't add it too much, but a little. But speaking of VC, hi AVC.
So that's what I'd be looking at. I'd be looking around there and sort of work out have a look at a few recipes, and see what people are using for them recipes.
And when you
then
find what flavorings you prefer, plug them in place of the ones that maybe they have.
Yeah. And you might think, oh, well, I'll try that, I'll get that, and then think, well, that strawberry didn't really work for me, or that, that cherry didn't work for me. I got medicinal, and you can look at another cherry, or, I didn't get the almond flavour, I didn't get the marzipan, and then look at, because when you look at it, you'll only find if you doing commercial juices, if you look at what their profile is, sometimes you can work out what they're using because not a lot of flavour profiles. If they're saying, oh, we're using an orange blossom, there's not that many companies that do orange blossom.
No, there's not.
Do you know what I mean? So you can work out what they're using in that because, there's only going to, when you type orange blossom and look on, chefs or, wherever you're going for your concentrate and put orange blossom, there's only about one company that does orange blossom. It's in the clue, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's in there, in that title, sometimes what they're actually using. So I hope that helps, Trevor. Like I say, go over and do a little bit of research, come back to us. We'll give you a bit of idea of what you can do and what you can use. And welcome to the rabbit hole of mixing.
Yes.
You thought vaping were bad.
If you want to go deep dive into the rabbit hole, contact Liam or Graham or Zippy,
Yeah.
and you will go.
Yeah, or Tam.
You just jump off the cliff.
I've got a good trifle bakewell on ELR that you can look up as well.
Is it fizzy?
It's a fizzy, yeah, it's a fizzy trifle.
Find somebody that basically at some point what you'll do is you'll find somebody who has taste buds similar to yours if you're lucky. And
unless you build,
then kind of listen to their recommendations, because in some cases what will happen is someone will be giving you really good recommendations and the stuff that they're vaping and it's fantastic and everything else, but it doesn't quite fit when you do it, doesn't taste the same. And you could put 10 mixers on here and ask them which is the best strawberry or which is the best whatever else, and you may get 10 different answers, you know.
Especially something like a strawberry, because there are so many strawberry concentrates out there.
yeah. Graham, all right. Yeah, you can. Yeah, like the real mixer. But you don't put yourself down there. You think you're not a mixer, Magooga. Do you know what I mean? You've just put a recipe up there. You know, it's when you know. It is, as Evie said, mixing is a big rabbit hole. Especially if you have a white whale that you really, really want, like Bill was saying about chocolate, you know, if you start chasing that one, you'll be buying every concentrate that someone says tastes like chocolate.
Yeah, and then it don't.
I think
And
I got every cola.
Every strawberry known to man Graham has, and he still hasn't got any.
I've been buying up all the cakes because I'm still looking for a really, really nice sponge.
Yeah,
Really
that's
nice
the sponge cake is like, that is kind of that's a tough one to find. That I find graham cracker. There's some that are getting close, but for me, I haven't found a graham cracker that truly tastes like a graham cracker.
But along the way, you find something that's like, well, this isn't what I'm looking for, but
it works for something else.
Recipe, it'll, you know. So in a lot of cases, you still find stuff that may not quite fit the profile that you originally had in mind, but may work well with something else. And you're like, well, you know,
mean like an almond that works as a cherry?
Yeah.
I'm looking for a nut, but I got a cherry. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
if I got a cherry, I'd probably get a nut. No, wait a second.
Oh, Mrs.
Okay.
Magoo was saying that he's to try cloning. That's the hardest thing, because, like I say, if you're cloning a recipe, sometimes you can probably get close. Sometimes you may get close, but sometimes manufacturers, as Graham said earlier, if they're a big manufacturer, they'll have actually had a concentrate made for them. Like we're on about with you were saying about, is it DV that they'll drop a percentage down, they'll mix it round, they'll mix it. You know, if you say it's a rhubarb custard, and you don't want the rhubarb, you want the custard, but you don't want the rhubarb, they'll swap it. Do you know what I mean?
Can you boost the rhubarb for you? DV will just turn around and say, "Yeah, no problem. We'll push that a little bit for you."
Kevin's saying, "What's the best white chocolate?"
You're asking the right guy. I don't know.
Are you after posh white chocolate or Asda white chocolate?
Yeah, I have a favorite for white chocolate, but it's actually a mix of two. But yeah, obviously the cult flavor, but the Flavora. But I use it as 2-to-1, and for me that works really well because it gives me the full flavor of it. But actually, the Flavora isn't bad by itself either.
The Flavora and the Flavor West together.
Yep. Yeah, similar. If you mix them, you'll get more of the solid notes, like those holes in the notes.
Yeah.
I found Wonder Flavors creamy white chocolate. I really like that flavor.
My favorite is Flavora for the top end of the chocolate. I use Love and the Flavor West white chocolate, and I think I use it at one for Flavora, one for I forgot what of
Love.
2 for Flavor West and Love for at 1, and Love gives you that mouth coating that you want, that kind of feel like the chocolate sticking to the top of your mouth.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's the same thing with I get the flavor, like that's like the base note, but it's missing a few things, like a little bit of that, I don't know, the subtle notes. And that's where the VSO picks up for me.
Well, obviously we can't get VSO, so that's
Exactly. But like you said, Graham came up with a solution that works.
ABC, don't put them in that bridge that you got today because you didn't like the airflow in that until you can get the rest of those little airflow deals. So
Flavor West, Zippy's just put in FLV, white chocolate, and she does chocolate quite well, does Zippy.
Yep.
So look at that, and Love, I would just get that coating, and then, so yeah. Love flavors. Love flavors.
Love.
Vape Train Love.
Yeah. So VTA Love, Vape Train Love, which you probably get from Chefs or FLV. He's been trying to get white chocolate strawberry truffle liquid right for a good year. Yeah. So have a look at that.
Yeah, if you're after the truffle kind of thing, consider putting marshmallow in it as well. To fluff. We replace the Love with a marshmallow, a fairly, because you get that truffle kind of feel.
And you want something for the fizz too. So what, champagne fizz or what? How's he going to get the fizz? Yeah.
Fizzy champagne. You could add that, definitely.
So I hope that helped, Kieran. Let us know if it does.
I think I've got a rest. I've got a truffle.
So it loves the 520 bridge, but the Molen just not right for me.
Yeah, it's basically it's got like a 1.2, and then it goes from that to a 2, and the 1.2 is too tight, and the 2 is too loose.
It's too big. Yeah.
He said they may be making some more, but they haven't. They only gave 3 with the kit, so now you're going to have to go buy to get the one that's in between there. You're going to have to go buy more. Which is, hey, here's a way to get more sales.
Well, he's going down that rabbit hole of Billy Box, isn't it?
Well, hopefully they actually make it too. That's the other thing. They like to say they will, and then it'll be one of those things that's like forever.
Yeah.
McGovern says, is Graham doing a summer juice for sale? Think of a fruity menthol range of flavours. He is doing a summer. He's going down. He's going to be doing summers, isn't he, mate?
I'm doing a few summer ones. I'm just doing Kieran a.
Oh, he's got the strawberry and the truffle. It's just the chocolate that he hasn't got. That's what he's looking for.
Really good. That's actually got a really good. I mean, even by itself, it's not terrible. It's actually got most of the notes of white chocolate.
Right, this is the one
I tried. It's the most full.
Try that.
It says he's got the truffle and the strawberry. He's just can't nail the white chocolate down.
Yep.
Oh, it's truffle, not trifle. I'm sorry. Forget about that fizz.
Hey, so, Bill, when you coming out with the fizzy nuts?
Fizzy nuts. Ooh, fizzy nuts.
I got to get a hold of some of that stuff Vinny was using in the shower.
Some original sauce. You'll be able to get it over there. Original sauce. Mint.
Use some of those crystals in it, put them down in there.
So I hope that. Have a look at Nets if you do want to play around with yours. I don't know what you're using for your truffle or your strawberry. But yeah, if you like I say, have a look at that. Hope that helped Kieran for the chocolate, mate. Right, that's come really, really quick. Is that? Really, really quick. We're up to time. So we will go round and say thank you, everybody in chat. We will go round and say our goodbyes. We will start with Bill.
Bye. Thanks a lot, Chet. As always, throwing out some good stuff and everything. And I realized we kind of got off on a tangent there for a while on the cost of doing business, but it is. And you can catch me on Sunday night on the Late Night Vape Show at 10:30 UK time, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I will throw it to Liam so we can go ahead and, find out where all he's at.
Thanks, Chet. Been great tonight, as always. Just like to say one thing about don't try cloning. Cloning's a headache. You don't want. Do a remix instead. And if you wish to support me, you can grab my one shots from Chef's Flavors as Twisted Imagination, or from flavorchaser.com, DIYflavorchaser.com as Sheila Combs. You can also catch me on Vaping Community Calculator, E-Liquid Recipes Calculator, and ATF as Sheila Combs. And I'm in the vast majority of the Facebook DIY mixing groups, including Monkey on Juice. You can always hit me up on there if you want help or just want to chat about mixing. You can catch me on the Vaping Community YouTube show as well on a Saturday evening at 11 p.m. And I will pass it over to Tim.
All right. You can find me on my channel on Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern and Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. Sundays with Zippy and Mandalorian at on Mixers Helping Mixers. Tuesdays on Fresh 03's channel with the Tuesday takeovers. And I will drop some links here, including a Discord if anyone needs any help. Maybe you're going through some struggling times or something, or you want to help somebody that's dealing with it. And all the links of where you can find me are there. And I will pass it to Graham.
Okay, Trav, I'm just going to drop the Monkey on Juice Facebook group. If you want to pop on that and you need any help with picking flavors, quite happily to do a one-on-one with you and help you pick the flavors that you want. And I'll try and keep it cheap as possible.
Yeah, just make sure you got about 1,000 pounds. When you do that.
That's it. Vapor Round Awards are coming up, so Benny, I think Benny's going to talk to you about that in a sec. And I'll pass it over to Benny.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody in chat. It's been a really good show. I know we went off a little bit on a tangent halfway through, but it had to be addressed, and I just thought it was a good way of explaining to what's going on. So thank you very much, everybody in chat, for listening to us and joining. Like I say, the Vapor Round Awards are coming up. The voting is now in, so go vote for your favourite shop, your favourite online store. Also vote for your favourite e-liquid. These two up there that we do are friends of the show, which is obviously Amatorium, which was lovely, got nominated last year in the awards before the EC Click. Would like to get him on Vapor Round, and also Nevin's Ancient Elixir. Do go up and vote for them. Also, you can vote for your favourite reviewer. You can vote for me if you want. You can also vote for Kieran. Be nice to get us in for a change. Do you know what I mean? And let other people into that top charts. Because it does help us out. It does help us out getting us noticed. So it would be nice to have a little vote if you have got the time. Do go over and do that. And like I say, if you are enjoying what we do on the show and what we do on other shows and what everybody else, just go over and vote for us. But absolutely fantastic. And like I say, it'd be nice to get Graham and Nick into that top e-liquids because they're banging it out.
Newcomer.
Newcomer, yeah, we're getting Nick in a newcomer and Graham up there with e-liquids. Just get them up there. Show these big boys that there's new ones coming through. That'd be absolutely fantastic, and it helps everybody out. It helps everybody out because people do give up the time to do these shows, and they're giving all the knowledge away. So yeah, just do that. So thank you very much. You will find us here next week. Thank you very much for my fellow casters. Absolutely brilliant as always. Do give us a thumb up on the way out. Would be brilliant. Does help out with the analytics.
Thanks for behaving tonight after Benny asked you to. Yeah. Also, you did a great job this evening. Other than a couple of Ruskies that come in, but other than that, you were really.
We were fine, exactly. So we will see you same time, same channel next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
I can't find outro. Help.
I'll sing it.